astronaut Victor Glover's weekly reminder. Whitey on the Moon and Perspective in Space Exploration, NASA astronaut Victor Glover, slated to pilot the Artemis II mission, making him the first person of color to travel to the moon, begins his workweek with a stark reminder of societal disparities. Every Monday, on his commute to NASA's Johnson Space Center, he listens to Gil Scott-Heron's spoken-word poem, Whitey on the Moon. This isn't a rebellious act, but a deliberate practice. Glover shared this tradition at the 2023 Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, sparking debate about its meaning. He clarified it's not about racism, but about the human condition. The poem, released in 1970, juxtaposes the billions spent on space exploration with the everyday struggles of Black Americans facing poverty, healthcare costs, and systemic inequality. The context matters. The late 1960s saw massive investment in the space race amid ongoing social unrest. Scott-Heron's lyrics highlighted this disconnect. A rat done bit my sister Nell, but Whitey's on the moon. Glover connects this historical context to present-day realities, ensuring he and his team remain grounded in the broader human experience, not just the excitement of space travel. That song is a reminder that everybody wasn't having a good time in 1968 when we launched the first Apollo missions. Glover explained, "Some people were like, these bills and these potholes, like my condition hasn't been improved by NASA." Glover, 47, from Pomona, California, and father to 4 daughters, uses the poem as a personal check against the potential for NASA to become detached from the communities it serves. He acknowledges the criticism, but insists the perspective is essential. "I have never had the option to not have that perspective. I am a Black man in America." Beyond the song, a broader stance, Glover has consistently addressed social justice issues publicly. In 2020, following the murder of George Floyd, he tweeted a message of solidarity and a call for dialogue, responding to criticism by asserting that space exploration is inherently tied to broader societal progress. The roots of this tension stretch back to the Apollo era. In 1968, Ralph Abernathy led a protest at Kennedy Space Center, bringing mules and a wagon to symbolize the contrast between lunar ambition and earthly poverty. NASA Administrator Thomas Paine engaged with the protesters, leading to a moment of shared humanity and prayer for the astronauts' safety. Glover draws a lesson from this encounter. They talked, and they heard, and were heard. And I think that is a lesson. His choice to listen to Whitey on the Moon each week is a deliberate act of remembering that lesson, ensuring that as humanity reaches for the stars, it does not forget those still struggling on the ground. NASA's Artemis II mission is scheduled for April 1, a launch pad that has witnessed both technological triumph and social protest. Glover's commitment to perspective suggests he intends to carry both histories with him as he ventures toward the moon.